So pesticide residue found in 70% of produce sold in U.S. even after washing. Stay away from fruits and vegetables, y'all. They're dangerous.
Or become one of these fucking kale eaters and start getting these organic pesticide-free fucking foods. If you don't want to be eating bug juice, I guess that's your.
Actually, conventionally farmed kale could contain up to 18 pesticides.
Conventionally farmed kale can, not the organic pesticide-free small batch kale that
I don't know. So about 70% of fresh produce sold in the U.S. has pesticide residue on it, even after it's washed, according to health advocacy groups. According to the Environmental Working Group's annual analysis of U.S. Department of Agriculture data, strawberries, spinach, and kale are among the most pesticide-heavy produce, while avocados, sweet corn, and pineapples had the lowest level of residue. More than 92% of kale tested contained 2 or more pesticide residues, according to the analysis. And a single sample of conventionally farmed... You know, I'm glad that kale is littered with fucking pesticides.
Yeah, kale sucks,
People
dude.
who eat kale deserve to fucking be poisoned.
Kale is delicious and
Kale
nutritious.
is nasty.
A good source
Hey, whatever
of iron.
happened, by the way, to that fucking seaweed that's supposed to taste identical to bacon? Remember a few years ago, everyone was like, new seaweed that tastes like bacon discovered.
That might have
Where the
just been-
fuck is that shit?
Fake news.
Dude, that's media clickbait, dude.
Fake news.
Probably never fucking happened.
Maybe it's available and we just don't know about it.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Search it.
How about cricket protein, dude?
All right,
Run
I'll
a search for bacon seaweed and see if it's available.
Dude, we're gonna be eating crickets. We're gonna be eating fucking
Bacon,
seaweed. We're gonna be eating lab-grown meat, dude. We're gonna have a fucking crazy future, dude.
Seaweed that tastes like bacon. Yeah, it's just a bunch of news stories
Yep.
from back in
Didn't happen.
2017.
Fucking
and shit.
bamboozled us, dude. They promised us seaweed bacon, and what the fuck did we get in return? Not fucking jack shit. Not a fucking goddamn thing. We got
It's
fucking
all just a bunch of articles from fucking 2 years ago
It's all
that say
clickbait.
it exists, but it
It's
doesn't.
all clickbait, dude. And now we got fucking kale. But you know what? If you eat fucking kale, you got a problem anyways. No strawberries and shit, that sucks, dude. I'm sad to hear that, dude. Spinach, kale, you fucking deserve it.
Boo.
I mean, pesticides have been linked in the past to cancer and a multitude of...
Yeah, I was reading a story earlier that said Roundup has been linked to cancer.
Glyphosate or whatever it's called. Or
by some juries.
So we've got this increasing cancer diagnosis rate in the country, and also...
What about the rise of autism too? I don't know if pesticides are tied to that. But
actually, I heard
the fact that our food source is so tainted, makes you think.
What I actually heard, one of the things I heard about autism rising, I mean, one being better diagnosis and diagnostics and stuff. It was actually
which always accounts for higher diagnosis rates.
Was obesity.
Obesity has been linked. Another thing that's being looked at that I've harped on here when it comes to autism is the screen-based autism is what they're calling it, which is exposure to electronic screens has been at least maybe not directly linked in the medical community, but early studies are providing a pretty clear link.
I really just think every once in a while people need to just sit down in a chair and just not have any stimuli and just let their mind wander.
They need that.
Yep.
You know what else they need? That, you and I, like people like us, we probably don't think much about it. They need to talk to people. That not on the internet, not typing where you carefully consider and craft your persona.
Sitting across from the room from another person and looking them in the eyes and having a
conversation about whatever is profoundly important to cognitive development in humans, and we're being pushed ever farther and farther away from that natural way of phones were one thing. And phones, I think, put a little barrier there, but still allow you to hear the person's voice. You can infer something. There's a little bit of human contact in the idea of a phone. Now, like social media, there's nothing. It's cold. It's calculated. It's logical. It's all what you want people to think and see and know about you.
Well, even the communication now that you're talking about like that, like a big thing, too, is that people aren't really, like... You're able to get all this human experience stuff. Like you can read stories, you can hear people tell stories, you can watch all this content, but it's not really a human connection. It's just like it gives you kind of almost like a substitute for that. It's like, oh, you can't have that in your actual life. So
we see that in our comment section where people are like, "Man, I love watching you guys because it's just like I'm hanging out." It's like, yeah, I'm glad that it can be that for you, and I understand maybe it's hard to find that in your real life, and you maybe have difficulty finding like-minded people or whatever.
I've seen so many forums
it's still so much better to actually sit down and talk to a real group of friends than it is to just pretend you're part of our clique.
Go fucking go and look.
Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot pointing
No,
that out.
I mean,
don't
it's
know.
just true.
But, you know.
Yeah, but go and look at like self-help things, and I've seen it so many times on sites like Reddit and other places where people like, how do you like meet people and have friends and shit, and it's like it's almost like a lost art now because like everyone thinks like they have these like internet things going on. It's like, oh, I have that. It's like, but you don't in a sense. You really don't.
Right. We think of ourselves now with all the social media and stuff as more connected, but we've actually become less socially connected.
You know what it's actually kind of like, Paul? Coddle culture. Quit being a pussy.